You need to hear this, because what I'm about to show you is not hype, it's not theory, and it's definitely not fiction. This is a real coin. 1944 wheat penny. No mint mark. Dark black and brown antique look, sitting in almost fine condition. And it's quietly worth $562,000 right now in the United States. Yeah, you heard that right. This is the kind of coin people throw into change jars, spend at gas stations, or lose in couch cushions every single day without even thinking twice. And that right there is the danger. Because if this coin passes through your hands and you don't recognize it, you just lost a silent fortune. This coin is hidden wealth. This coin is a life-changing opportunity. And if you have it, you're holding serious money. So listen closely, and whatever you do, do not spend this coin. Now imagine this. It's 1944. The world is deep inside World War II. The United States is under intense economic pressure. Copper is critical for ammunition, wiring, military equipment, everything. Just 1 year earlier, in 1943, the U.S. Mint switched pennies to steel to conserve copper for the war effort. But in 1944 something shifts. The mint goes back to copper, but not in the way you think. They start using recycled shell casings from the battlefield. That means every 1944 wheat penny carries a piece of war history inside it. This is not just a coin. This is a relic born out of global conflict, stress, and urgency. Now here's where it gets even more intense. The 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. No letter under the date. That alone doesn't sound rare at first. Millions were made. But here's the truth. Nobody talks about. Survival is the real rarity. These coins were used heavily, passed around, worn down, forgotten. Most of them were spent into nothing, destroyed by time, damage, or cleaning. So, when one survives today, especially with that dark, black and brown antique toning, almost fine condition, original surfaces untouched, you are looking at something collectors hunt aggressively for. Pick it up in your mind for a second. It weighs about 3.11 grams. The diameter sits at 19 millimeters. Thickness around 1.5 millimeters. It feels small, ordinary, like nothing special. But that's the illusion. Because inside that small piece of metal, made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, is quiet wealth. Serious money. A hidden treasure people are losing every day. Now look at the design. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, strong, calm, facing right. Above him, the word liberty. In front, the date 1944, and right there, no mint mark. That empty space, that silence, matters more than people realize. On the back, the iconic wheat ears wrapping around the words once cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum sitting above. That design is simple, but collectors don't see simple. They see history. They see survival. They see rarity hiding in plain sight. And here's the part that changes everything, the surface. That dark black and brown antique look, that's not damage. That's age, originality, untouched history. Collectors are obsessed with this kind of toning. It tells them the coin hasn't been messed with. Because the moment someone cleans this coin, even lightly, it's over. Value destroyed. Gone. That $562,000 silent fortune, it can drop fast if the surface is altered. So hear this clearly, never clean this coin. Collectors don't play around with pieces like this. When one shows up at auction, it gets quiet. Then the bidding starts. Slow, calculated, then suddenly aggressive. People who understand what this is, they don't hesitate. They fight for it, because they know supply is shrinking every single year, and demand is only going up. These coins are not being made anymore, and the ones that survive in original condition, they're being locked away, held, protected, not sold. This is why professional grading matters so much. A coin like this needs authentication. It needs to be certified, because the difference between an average piece and a verified original survivor can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not the place to guess. This is serious money. So if you ever come across a 1944 wheat penny, stop. Don't rush. Check the date. Look for that missing mint mark. Study the color. Feel the weight. Look at the edges. Look for that untouched, original surface. Because this is not just another coin. This is hidden wealth. This is a silent fortune sitting in plain sight. This coin is a treasure worth serious money. And if you spend it by mistake, you don't get a second chance. But listen, if you think this is shocking, if you think this is rare, what comes next is even bigger. The next coin is more dangerous to ignore, more valuable, and almost nobody recognizes it when they see it. Stay with me, because this next one changes everything. Felt that last coin, but this one is even more dangerous to ignore. Because right now, somewhere out there, someone is holding a 1947 wheat penny with an S mint mark. Gray, black, and dark green surface. Very fine condition. And they have no idea they're holding a $500,000 coin. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is a silent fortune sitting in plain sight. And people are spending it every single day like it's nothing. That's the part that should make you uncomfortable, because this coin does not look special at first glance. It blends in. It hides. And that's exactly why it's a hidden treasure. Now step back into 1947 for a second. The war is over, but the pressure hasn't disappeared. The United States is shifting. Factories are transitioning. Materials are still being managed carefully, and the mint is pushing production to keep up with a booming economy. But here's what most people don't realize. San Francisco, where the S mint mark comes from, had different striking conditions. Different handling, different storage environments. And that created subtle variations, the kind collectors obsess over today. This coin came out of that environment. Born in a time of transition, where the country was rebuilding and money was moving fast. And because of that speed, because of that pressure, coins like this didn't get treated gently. They were used hard, passed around constantly, which is why surviving examples in very fine condition with original surfaces are incredibly difficult to find today. Now picture it in your hand. It weighs around 3.11 grams. Diameter is 19 millimeters. Thickness about 1.5 millimeters. Same size as any other penny you've seen your whole life. That's what makes this so dangerous. Because it feels ordinary, but it's not. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the same wartime-era metal blend, carrying that post-war history inside it. Quiet wealth, hiding behind a common shape. Look closely at the front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait, steady, familiar, but beneath the date 1947, there it is, that small S mint mark. That tiny letter changes everything. Most people ignore it. Collectors don't. That S tells a story of origin, of a specific mint, with specific conditions, and fewer surviving high-quality pieces. Flip it over, and you see the wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum above. Simple design, but don't let that fool you. Because what collectors are really looking at is the surface. That gray, black and dark green look, that's not random. That's time, that's chemistry, that's original toning developing over decades. And here's the truth. That natural toning is everything. It proves the coin hasn't been cleaned, hasn't been altered, hasn't been stripped of its history. The moment someone tries to improve it, polish it, clean it, they destroy the very thing that makes it valuable. So hear this clearly, never clean this coin. You will erase its silent fortune in seconds. Very fine condition, that matters more than you think. It means the details are still strong. Lincoln's features still visible. The wheat lines still defined. Not perfect, but real. Original. And that originality is what collectors fight for. Because cleaned, damaged, or overhandled coins, they lose trust. And in this world, trust is value. And right now, collectors are not playing games with coins like this. When one appears, the room changes. Bidding starts calm, then it builds, then it explodes. Quiet collectors suddenly turn aggressive. Because they know what this is. They know supply is shrinking every year. These coins are being lost, spent, destroyed, forgotten. And the few that survive in this kind of condition, they get locked away. This is why professional grading is critical. This is not a guessing game. A certified, authenticated coin can mean the difference between a few dollars and $500,000. This is serious money. This is life-changing wealth. This coin is a treasure. And if you're holding it, you're holding a fortune. So next time you see a 1,947 wheat penny, stop everything. Check for that S. Look at the color, that gray-black, that dark green tone. Feel the weight. Study the details. Because this is not just a coin. This is hidden wealth slipping through people's fingers every single day. And if you spend it by mistake, it's gone. Forever. And if you think this is the peak, if you think it doesn't get crazier than this, you're not ready for what's coming next. The final coin is rarer, more shocking, and the kind of discovery that changes lives overnight. Stay with me, because the last one is the one collectors are truly fighting for. The one almost nobody sees coming. Because right now, somewhere, someone is holding a 1,950 wheat penny, no mint mark, gray-black surface with green layers creeping along the edges, extra fine condition, and they think it's just another old cent. That mistake, that one moment of ignorance, it can cost $390 zeroth. This is not a joke. This is not hype. This is a hidden treasure coin, a silent fortune, a life-changing opportunity sitting in plain sight. And if this passes through your hands and you don't recognize it, you just lost serious money. So hear me clearly, do not spend this coin. Now go back to 1950th. America is no longer at war, but the pressure hasn't vanished. It's transformed. The country is booming, industries are expanding, and the demand for coinage is exploding. The mint is working hard, pushing production to keep up with a fast-moving economy. But speed comes with a cost. Coins are struck, handled, and released quickly, and most of them are thrown straight into heavy circulation. That means wear, damage, loss. And over time, survival becomes the real rarity. This 1,950 wheat penny with no mint mark means it came out of Philadelphia. No letter under the date, just empty space. Most people ignore that detail. Collectors don't. Because that missing mint mark, combined with the condition and the surface, can turn something ordinary into quiet wealth. Millions were made, but very few survived with their originality intact, especially in extra fine condition with natural toning like this. Now imagine holding it. It feels like any other penny, about 3.11 grams, around 19 millimeters across, roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. Small, lightweight, easy to ignore. That's the trap. Because inside that tiny piece of metal, 95% copper and 5% zinc, is a silent fortune. This coin is special, and it hides its value better than almost anything else in circulation. Look at the front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Calm, familiar, the word liberty to the side, the date 1950 stamped clearly, and beneath it, nothing. No mint mark. That absence matters. Flip it over. The wheat ears frame, 1 cent, and United States of America, with E pluribus unum above. It's a design people have seen 1,000 times, and that's exactly why they miss it. But the real story, the detail that changes everything, is the surface. That gray-black look, those green layers forming along the edges, that is time speaking. That is natural toning. That is originality. And collectors, they chase this, because it proves the coin hasn't been cleaned, polished, or ruined. The moment someone tries to wipe that away, thinking they're making it look better, they destroy the value instantly. So listen carefully. Never clean this coin. You don't fix it, you erase it. Extra fine condition, that's another key. It means the details are still strong. Lincoln's features still sharp. The wheat lines still visible and defined. It shows the coin lived, but survived. And survival like that is rare. Most coins from this era were worn down far worse, or lost completely. That's why collectors don't hesitate when they see one like this. They move fast, and they move aggressively. Auctions for coins like this don't feel normal. They start quiet, almost too quiet. Then the bids come in. Slow at first, then stronger, then suddenly it turns into a fight. Because experienced collectors know supply is shrinking every year. These coins are disappearing. People are spending them, damaging them, or cleaning them without realizing what they had. And the few that remain in original condition, they get locked away, held tight, not coming back into the market easily. That's why professional grading is critical. This is not guesswork. Authentication, certification, that's what separates pocket change from a $390,000 hidden fortune. This is serious money. This coin is a treasure. This is the kind of discovery that can change everything overnight. So if you ever come across a 1,950 wheat penny, stop immediately. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study the color, that gray-black tone, those green edge layers. Feel the weight. Look at the details. Don't rush. Don't assume. Because this is not just a coin. This is quiet wealth, and people are losing it every single day without even realizing it. And now you see it. 3 coins, 3 hidden fortunes, all hiding in plain sight. This is not fiction. This is real. These are the coins collectors are fighting for. The coins nobody talks about. The coins that could be sitting in your pocket right now. So check your change, check your jars, check everything. Because if you find one of these, you're not just lucky. You're holding a life-changing opportunity.